I do have mic problems all throughout this, so I apologize. Okay, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be talking about the Arrowverse. We're gonna be focusing on the first couple episodes of Arrow. And we're gonna go by episode to episode. So, episode of Arrow has Oliver returning to his city because for 5 years he was stranded on an island. In this episode, we get introduced to the family. Obviously, Oliver, the other sister, Maura, the mother, Walter, which is like, Maura, I forget if Maura is even her name, but which is like Maura's new husband after Robert, the dad, died in the Queen's Gambit when it sank down, where Robert died, and then Oliver went to his island. We also get introduced to Tommy Merlin, which is Oliver's lifelong best friend. Throughout the show, and even like way before the show, and they talk about it more in later episodes, how much they were friends. We also get introduced to the Lance family with the cop, also known as Detective Lance, Laurel, which used to be Oliver's girlfriend, and Sarah, which died on the yacht because Oliver brought her there. So in the episode, Oliver and Tommy gets kidnapped by these three men in masks. These mysterious people that, I don't really know yet if we learn more about them because I'm only on season 3 right now. But I assume we probably won't. They probably won't ever show up again. But, Tommy and Oliver get kidnapped. Then Oliver chases them, kills them, and then they get interrogated by cops. And Oliver just says, he just saw like a guy in a green hood save him, and Tommy just says everything was a blur. And because of the kidnapping, Maura hires John Diggle to be a bodyguard for Oliver. And Oliver, tends to have a bad habit of running away from him. Then it cuts to Laurel talking to her lawyer friends about Adam Hunt. And yeah, there's not much about there, but it does set up something with Adam Hunt. And then it shows Oliver apologizing to Laurel because Oliver kind of killed Laurel's sister while cheating on Laurel with her sister. Kind of awkward. Also, in this episode, it gets really clear that Tommy has feelings for Laurel. Eventually, Oliver finds Queen Industries Inc., which is like a factory type thing his dad owned. And he takes the basement and turns it into his bat cave, you could say, or his main cave, his superhero hideout, his Avengers Tower. Eventually, Oliver suits up to fight Adam West, or whatever his last name is, and eventually Adam West, or whatever his last name is, decides to give to donate the $40 million I stole to people back to the people. So, yay. So, what are my thoughts on the episode? Well, I think it's a good way to start the season, the series, and the whole Arrowverse. I also think that, like, it wasn't too much. I think the villain wasn't a good villain. It was just some rich guy. Also, I think the suit that he wears in this, which is really the only suits he wears in this episode, is kind of boring. But I think, really, for superheroes in general, their first suits are, like, usually the prototypes never that good. Okay, so episode 2. It starts off with Oliver fighting another evil rich guy. Would you ever guess it? But this time, there's this girl. I don't know. I forget her name. But just this random girl that helps the rich guy. And then he goes to court to make him, like, legally not dead, I guess. I don't understand what that means. I guess he just has to be like, hey, court people, I'm not dead anymore. I'm still alive. And then it just shows Loyal doing some court stuff against the rich guy. Because the rich guy, like, killed somebody or something. Then it just shows Oliver fighting some henchmen. You know, classic superhero versus super villain stuff. But it's the henchman of the one girl, not the rich man, I'm pretty sure. And I believe the girl was named Summer or something. Yeah. And then the cop, like, goes investigating on the docks, because that's where it all happened. On the docks. So and then Oliver goes to visit the corporation where Walter and whatever, and the mom ask him to become the CEO and take a leadership role and stuff. And then he declines offer, which, props to him. I mean, if I was stranded on an island, I wouldn't want to become the CEO of a whole business my second week back, And then we see a flashback of him going to the island. Not much in that one. And then China White does stuff with her henchmen back at the docks. Also, China White is a girl that works for the rich guy. And then Thea and Alfred just talk about how much they missed each other on the island and at home. And then, Oliver shows up to Laurel's house and to, like, apologize. Then, White China, or China White, I forget which one it was. Which I'm pretty sure, I forget if that's actually the character's name or if it's the actor's name. But either way, they show up, and then Dig, which is my favorite character, saves them. And the detective thanks him for it. And then Oliver tries to go catch White China or Summer, whatever her name is, and then she basically spills beans on the triad. She basically snitches on the triad, and then He tries to fight Oliver, but, doesn't work. And then it just shows Oliver looking through his book. And then the mom talking to a mysterious figure that nobody knows. Well, I mean, eventually people know, but not yet anyways. And he talks about Oliver not knowing stuff. My thoughts on this episode is it was a little boring. There's not much to talk about in this episode. I mean, compared to the first episode, it wasn't that great, but, I can't wait to see the way the show's going. Well, I mean, obviously, I already know how it's going because I'm already on season 3, but after I watched the episode, I wanted to know. Anyways, bye. Thanks for watching.